Hey, what is going on, you guys? It is Mr. No Sleep here from Old School RuneScape, and welcome to a brand new video for you all today. So before we venture on into the Revenant caves, I wanted to show you guys a close encounter that I had with this guy at the Wilderness Agility Arena. As you can see, we chanced him a few times, and it probably wasn't the smartest idea to wear a Blood Fury with this DH setup. What can I say? I was still getting the hang of things. Look at this Vengeance here. I really just needed a little bit more of DPS with my Eclipse at Lattice, and I would have gotten this amazing PK. I'm not sure how much this would have been, but he was definitely not prepared for all of this. It really makes me want to return to this Wilderness Agility course, but this was the only fight that I had found in about 4 hours. Other than that, it was just smooth sailing. So let me know if you guys want a part 3 of that in the comment section below, but I did luckily run into this low risker, and yeah, we had no problem with that. It was a decent PK. So yeah, that's what I've been up to before the Revenant started. I had an idea of to do a part 3, but I just spent so much time here that there wasn't that many PKers, so hopefully we can find some in the future. But let's get started with today's video. Today we are going to be going back to the Revenant caves, but this time we're going to be bringing an Elysian Spirit Shield with us. And here's my Revenant collection log. 75,000 kills. We've gotten 4 maces, but we're still missing the crossbow and the scepter. Decent amount of relics though. But yeah, this video will all be unskulled when we are bringing out the Elysian, because we don't want to take the chance of losing that. But before we begin with today's video, this video is brought to you by Boot.Dev. Boot.Dev is building the smartest way to master backend development by tackling the hardest problem with e-learning: boredom. Their platform uses tactics learned from modern game design to push ambitious students towards their goal, a career in backend development. Through hands-on lessons that balance theory with practice and an active Discord community, you're going to be prepared to tackle technical interviews and forge a successful programming career. And hey, they never want a student feeling like they spent money on something that isn't helping them, so they do offer a 30-day no questions asked refund policy, as well as a free demo of every course and its interactive features. At Boot.Dev, they believe that learning to code is not a get-rich-quick scheme. They believe in going deep and taking time on the fundamentals so that you are as prepared as you can be for your job search. You can see the pricing at boot.dev/pricing. It'll be in the description below, and it's free to create an account, demo the courses, and even view all the content in read-only mode. Now, if you become a member, that unlocks solutions, hints, progress tracking, answer verification, etc. So feel free to click the link in the description box and use my code Mr. No Sleep to get 25% off your first payment for Boot.Dev. That'll be 25% off your first month or your first year, depending on which subscription that you choose. And a huge thank you to Boot.Dev for sponsoring today's video. Now, before we bring out the Elysian and do this video unskulled, I do want to show you guys what an example of me being skulled is like. So these first few clips was before I brought out the Elysian. As you can see, it just takes a lot of GP out of your bank when you skull up here. Armadillo Godsword risk, that's a solid 13 mil. With everything else included, it's like a 16 mil risk overall. So although I do get the opportunity to get more PKs with this setup, today I want to focus more on survival and making as much profit as possible with these anti-PKs, and especially at these Revenants, because this is a solid money maker for anyone in the game. And I think I'm going to be focusing on the orcs as well as the dragon today. We'll spend 10 hours here and see how much we make on the PVMing side of things, and see what the Elysian has in store for us when we get attacked by PKers. Alright, the 10-hour timer has started. I was a little quiet at orcs, so I didn't spend too long here. I quickly moved up towards dragons because there's a lot more max PKers around there. And here we go. We got attacked. Didn't take too long, so let's try out this Elysian. We don't want to put it on too quickly because sometimes people get upset and they're not even going to try to kill you at that point when they see the Elysian. We also have claws, but let's put on the Elysian. We're about to get specced here. 26. All right, then we just have to venge. 34, and they are dead. So yeah, the Elysian, you know, that was nice because they really couldn't spec that high because of this incredible shield, and we get a 3.2 mil PK. I feel so much more comfortable risking HP now because this shield absorbs so much damage from these PKers. So we're off to a great start. This guy looks a little more intimidating. Let's put on the shield before he specs, and look at that, 0. You know, I can get away with smiting. Now, I definitely don't recommend you smite in these fights. I don't know why I do it. I guess I try to encourage them to. Try to make myself look less experienced so that they risk HP more. And I I ended up tanking that guy the whole fight. He ended up teleporting because I had a lot more food than he does. And with this setup, look at this. I mean, I have so many Ceradome and Brews, so many super restores. As a matter of fact, I fought a Voider who had a Zerite crossbow, and I managed to stay there the whole time, and he was out all the way. He even typed it out for proof. So, you know, this setup is going to make you last a long time and outlast these PKers. And not only that, when I returned to the Revenant Dragons, I got an ancient statuette right away. What an action-packed 30 minutes, because we're making money with the PKer, that 3 mil PK, and now we just made an additional 2 mil from the Revenant Dragon, and I'm unskulled, which means getting another ancient statuette is just unheard of. It's such a bad drop rate when you're not skulled here. So now that's 4 mil made just in 2 statue drops, and of course we have all the normal loot that's going to add up as well. And we have a PKer on us. Let's put on the Elysian, and it looks like they want nothing to do with that. Yeah, that's why sometimes you can't put it on right away. And here we have an Amulet of Avarice. That is astronomically rare, even when you are skulled. So the fact that I'm unskulled and we've already had 3 drops now. This one's on the mega rare drop table though, so I will happily take it. I also decided to switch up from the Dragon Claws to the Ancient God Sword. I don't really like this Ancient God Sword, but we'll try it out just for sake of the video. With this unskulled setup, I'm able to risk quite a few +1s. Always gotta go for the boss kill when he spawns, so there's an extra 1 mil and an additional 30k in normal loot. So I will happily take it. That'll just add to the price check. We'll do 2 different price checks at the end, the PVMing and the PKing. Managed to make 10 mil in the first hour though. Roughly, I would say 73 Revenant Dragons were killed. That was 6.3 mil. And then we, of course, killed 32 orcs, got 500k from that. And then the 3 mil loot key. So we're off to a great first hour. We have 9 hours left. Bank tab is looking nice. And here we go. We got another PKer on us. This guy looks like he knows what he's doing. He's throwing in that spec already, but he only managed to hit a 20. Because, I mean, I was praying, but I also had the Elysian on. I love the fact that he is smiting. I threw in a Ancient God Sword spec there, but I didn't manage to hit anything. So let's throw in another one. And we did get a 30. Now we just have to wait for the 25. And, ooh, that did not get him. So, yeah, let's keep going, though. That was a close call. Now we know that this guy risks HP. I love to see it. Not a lot of people in his type of gear ever do that. All right, we got the Elysian on. 13 HP. We don't even need to eat there. The Elysian, it takes care of that for us. Look at that. He's not the only one who risks HP around here. Let's go, though. Let's bring out this God Sword. We're going to get another spec soon. This Elysian just puts me on a whole nother level, guys. I'm telling you, you got to get yourselves one of these. I sold a 2-month-long investment for this, and it's been worth it so far. Let's keep going, though. This is a long fight. He has to be low on supplies here. I know I am, so let's keep going. All right, my spec hit a 0, but I still got the heal from it. We're both down to our final HP here. I don't think either one of us is going to eat. This guy is just doing something that I've never seen before, and somehow we tanked another spec with that Elysian at 44 HP. Hands down, one of the most wildest fights I've ever had, and definitely some of the best tanking I've ever had, and all credits to the Elysian. 54.5 mil PK. That is humongous. All right, we got another PKer. Big spec there, 55, but I'm frozen, so I can't get that heal, but oh, that would have been a nice PK. Guthix D'Hide, Blood Bar. Not as much as 54 mil, but he's still risking. Oh no, I don't have my shield on. I gotta put that on real quick, and I didn't get it on in time. That's what happens. A 62. That would have been a 22 had I been wearing my Elysian. But anyway, speaking of an Elysian, this guy's wearing one too with full Mazur, and he looks like he's risking 4 bill worth of emblems. That's a lot of money. All right, well, anyways, back to the Revenant Dragons. We switched up the setup a little bit. Got a Guthin's helmet now, and I ran into a guy with full gold Mystic Staff of the Dead. Usually these types of guys you never see at the start of the cave. You usually see them, you know, towards the southern orc area. But my God Sword was just not hitting anything on him, so I just could not get a chance to kill him, unfortunately. And if it wasn't the God Sword that scared him off, it was probably the Elysian. But hey, there's an Ancient Emblem drop. Another drop unskulled from these Revenant Dragons. I don't know, maybe these dragons just have better drop rates. But we also have a full looting bag, and yet again, another PKer has logged in. Let's try to get him. Another Voider, it seems. All right, well, he's a little late to his his prayers, so we might have a chance here. Got a DCB now, so we should have some more DPS. 48, I don't know if that was a chance, but just a little higher, and I would have killed him. Yet again, another opportunity there, and I definitely chanced him with that dragon crossbow hit. Man, that would have been a nice PK, looking at his setup, because he did come back for a rematch. He has a blessed spirit shield. I had a beautiful Venge stack, and of course, I forgot to put on my shield after I spec'd, and so he hit a 70. I deserved that kill so many times, and of course, he got it because I didn't have my shield on, but I did have it on the rematch, and luckily for me, I tanked his hit, had a nice vengeance, but my god sword flopped again. I just cannot kill this guy. It's very unfortunate. He ended up logging out. He didn't want to rematch anymore. I figured he probably wanted to stop while he was ahead, and I forgot to mention that in the start of the video with the setup with the rune crossbow, this was about 600k, but now with the dragon crossbow, this setup is approximately 2.5 mil to 3 mil. So if I keep chancing these voiders and dying to them, that is going to add up. So we don't want to die. This guy also got incredibly lucky during the course of our fight, but we're definitely holding our grounds here. I mean, we have plenty of supplies left. We have the shield equipped. There's no way that we can get specced out with it. 71 HP, but quickly that went to 0. So yeah, that, you know, it happens. All I can say is you never want to rely on the shield 100%, just 99% of the time. What is this guy in full Guthans doing? Now, I'm not supposed to skull up in this setup. I mean, that's my #1 rule with this Elysian, but look at this guy. He's got a dragon dagger, full Guthans, and I mean, his HP is so low, there's no way there's anything sketchy about this at all. So I'm just going to follow him, and hey, worst case, if he, you know, puts me somewhere I don't want to be, I'll just log out. I'm not in combat. I should be 100% safe, and I mean, multi's pretty far away, right? Like, it's not that, it's like near Chinchampas, and we're not even close to that right now. It would have been nice to have the multi-line plugin turned on, but I did not, and all of a sudden, I was in multi. I just didn't know that this was multi-combat. I don't even see oh, I see it now. It's right below my mini-map. Well, I didn't see it at the time, and yeah, these guys quickly turned on me. At the time, I didn't know this was a lure. I was like the last thing I was expecting, and yeah, that death hurt a lot, but we didn't lose the Elysian, so I'm really thankful for that. But I did lose a Webweaver bow, an Armadillo God sword, a Ring of Suffering imbued, and yeah, I guess that was multi. So yeah, it sucks, but it happens, you know what I mean? And now that you guys have seen that, don't ever fall for it. For me, GP comes and goes, mainly goes, but at the end of the day, we can make that back. We just gotta be a little bit more smarter in the future and keep anti-Pking. That alongside all these Revenants being killed, we should have no problem making back that money. That 54 mil PK also put us in the positive pretty strongly there, so we'll see what happens by the end of the video. Hopefully we'll profit. I did have this guy in Mystic on the run. Unfortunately, he did log out from the fight, though. I can't say I don't blame him, but I blame him. So yeah, I only had 1 super restore left, though, so it would have been a little bit of a struggle for me. Either way, though, there's a dragon plate skirt. All these normal drops adding up. About 900k is in the looting bag. Every time I bank, I just bank whenever it gets full. Since I'm not wearing the Amulet of Avarice, all of my drops are unnoted, so that is one downside of it. But we're also here to anti-PK, so, you know, the drops are really just extra. Ran into another PKer with Blood Bark, and my specs were just popping off on him. This guy, Water Malone here, really big specs with the Ancient God Sword, some beautiful heals on my end, and yeah, the Elysian as well as this Ancient God Sword, really making the longevity happen with these inventories. So he wanted nothing to do with me there, and, you know, he just teleported. But when I did return, I managed to get another boss kill. I somehow out DPS'd the guy who was surged up, but we got another 1 mil from that, so I will happily take it. Alright, we banked the Ancient God Sword for the claws. Let's go in for the spec. Beautiful spec, but it wasn't enough, and now the problem is I really can't do anything with this setup until I get spec again, so well, we'll see how long we last. We're 0% right now, and now we're back to 20, but yeah, we'll keep going with this guy. Maybe we can get a good vengeance off, and yeah, double death. Alright, I'll take it, because I'm only risking 2.5 mil. He's risking a lot more than that, so we just have to get back there before him, and hopefully we'll get out alive, because we're not going to be wearing anything. So let's get back as quickly as possible. This is where it really pays off to have your spawn point in Edgeville. Great 5 mil investment that I made many years ago, and here we are with the loot. Let's pick everything up here. It's not going to be showing in the RuneLite loot tracker, but I can simply just price check all of this stuff, and then we just subtract 2.5 mil, and that's our profit. Alright, we managed to get everything. Looks like he got back here in time too. 9 million GP on my end, so that's a solid 6.5 mil profit profit, 7 mil, whatever if you want to round up. All right, looks like we have a system update in 21 minutes. So yeah, I did bank the Aram's hood. I don't even know why I brought it out in the first place, but now we're bringing a serpentine helmet. This guy was an interesting fight. Didn't really get a lot of opportunity to get close to killing him, but yeah, I did manage to outlast him, which always makes me feel a little bit better about the situation. You know, if you can't kill them, at least don't die to them. But yeah, before the update hits, we got 3 minutes left. We're going to go ahead and bank that looting tab. It took me a long time to get those dragon plate legs as a drop, but we did finally get them. And when I returned, I ran into a claw rusher, which I haven't really seen too many of them, but yeah, he didn't manage to kill me. But had he stayed there a little longer, I think I would have gotten the spec off, and you never know, would have been a great PK. I was actually wearing a fighter hat at that time, but I switched it to a Varrock helmet, and I ran into these two guys at the entrance of the cave. Had no problem killing him. I don't even think he ate a single time, which I love about these newer PKers. You know, they always risk HP, just like me, so it's great. But yeah, I wanted to try to kill his friend, but I didn't have any specs, so I figured I would just spec and log. That's exactly what I did, and I ended up cashing in the key for 210k. Well, I ran into Lagurium, and he did kill me. I think that's the 3rd time he's killed me this week, so yeah, that's alright though. It's always good to die to another YouTuber, but 1 hour left on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a great 9 hours so far. Alright, let's go in for the spec here. They are low HP. Oh man, look at that, so close. It's such a weird setup that they're using, but it's got to be worth some money, so let's go in for the spec again. They came right back. Here we go, perfect. They're not even eating. What in the world was that? You know, I'm blaming the Archer helmet on that one. I can't blame the Elysian. I even had a Berserker ring imbued, and yeah, I lost that. So that was a 7 mil death. Should have never happened. I mean, if I could go back in time, I would have tried to hit harder, but just could not hit there. Well, anyways, after I died, I returned in my final gear setup of the video. We're bringing Armadillo D'Hide this time, and we're going up against the guy who is just doing nothing but running in this whole fight. I mean, I don't think he damaged me much at all, and we actually ended up killing him by a Dragon Claw poke. There's a first time for everything, and yeah, let's go ahead and open up this loot key, see how much we get. 9 million GP. Well, that pays for my last death, and it gives me a 2 mil bonus, but let's go ahead and inspect this guy. He attacked me, and then he stopped, so I just went in for the spec and the Fang as well. We banked the Elysian, we brought the DFS out and the Fang, and this guy is just not having any of it. I mean, this really went the distance. We went all the way down to the 30 line. I tanked 2 specs even without the Elysian. I venged it, and I mean, how many close calls can you have in one fight? This is just absolutely ridiculous. I'm so offended. I want this guy to just trade me his stuff at this point, you know? And I will be waiting for that trade. All right, so there's another guy here. Not often do I skull up, but since I banked the Elysian, I figure why not? And if this doesn't represent what the wilderness can be on off days, I don't know what can, because close calls, that's what this is all about. I think the first clip in this video represented it best, that close calls do happen, and you always have the potential to make some more profit, get some more loot, but sometimes luck's just not on your side. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I spent the last hour just having a little bit of fun here, kind of sculling up. I even ended up sculling up with the Elysian again, so clearly, you know, I'm not following that rule I said earlier, but it did grant me a 600k loot key. That guy just happened to be AFK, and I did return to the Revenant caves, killed the boss just one more time, soloed him as a matter of fact for an additional 500k emblem, and that wraps up the 10 hours. So now we're just going to be showing the Runelight loot tracker. All of the loot here, we managed to kill 250 Revenant orcs as well as 750 Revenant dragons. Alright, so in 10 hours I made 32 mil from 250 Revenant orcs combined with 750 Revenant dragons. The highlight of the drops would be the 2 statuettes and the 1 amulet of avarice. Keep in mind that was all in the first hour, so somewhat of a dry 9 hours after that. But we also made 2.6 mil from 3 boss kills, and from the 5 PKs that we managed to get in 10 hours we made 65 mil. So overall 100 mil made, lost around 60 mil throughout this video, so that leaves us with 40 mil profit if I'm being a little generous to myself. And yeah, that's about it. Let me know what you guys think about the graphics setting in the comments below. I did switch it up in this video, so let me know if you like that. And a big thank you to the YouTube channel members, with a special shout out to DeceptionZ, xXzoticx, and Let Us Attack. And also, if you want to support the channel further, feel free to check out Boot.Dev using the link in the description below. They did sponsor today's video, so a big thank you to them. Well, until next time, guys, I have loot from 5,000 fever spiders coming out for you either tomorrow night or the day after that, so stay tuned for that. And until then, Mr. No Sleep out.